I'm not here to be a automotive scientist and put these engines together like a master builder, okay? I'm here to assemble them and get them in my vehicles, okay? Judge me if you want, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what? If it fits, it ships. For a low flat rate, off.
Man alive. This thing sure is a piece.
But it's my piece. I've had dreams about this thing running and driving lately. Therefore, it is on my list right now. I'm going to start getting after this. This, of course, if you guys haven't seen, every cool little thing on here. This is my 1960 Chevrolet step van. This is actually like a one-year-only design because of this right here, these little build-outs right here. The grill is in the back. Nobody worry. Nobody get all worked up about it. This was owned by the Zellerbach Paper Company way back in the day. And now it's mine, and I love it with all my heart. So, if you guys are unaware of the current status of this, this thing has been driven, not far, but it has been driven recently. I picked it up from a cherry farm in Walla Walla, and Jake helped me for a while to actually get this thing running correctly. We timed it, and got it some decent fuel, and the thing started right up. I mean, after some finagling, we had to rebuild the carburetor, which was a really weird carb. It was a Carter BB1 one barrel. Apparently those are really popular, but not exactly simple. So the powerhouse that moves this thing along is a 235. The issues with this thing that will keep it from going down the road safely, it will go down the road, are it needs a good fuel setup. Instead of holding the can in your lap while you're sitting in the seat and bang shifting this thing like we've been doing. So we have a fuel pump for it. We're going to get that addressed. We're going to just pretty much plumb it to the tank with a filter because we threw a borescope in there and it actually looked pretty decent. Alright, let's do it. Hello, friend. Sorry. Alright, so as you can see, we got our old, pretty gross fuel pump. It's probably been on here since, you know, the music that I listen to is cool. This thing is rusty crusty, but it's got, the reason that this is interesting to me, at least, is that it has a vacuum pump in it as well. So what that means is that the wipers on this thing, even though there's not real blades on them, because it's just metal right now, are assisted off the vacuum pump here. So it makes this really funny like vacuuming noise while the wipers are going, which I think is awesome. So I wanted to make sure that I got another one. I could have used a standard, as you can see just by the mounting surface and how this is, like I could have just used a standard inline 6 or possibly even a small block fuel pump. But I didn't want to because I wanted to keep this thing cool and original to an extent for now. So this is the freshie, so we're going to swap over these plugs, these little lines for the vacuum sources, and then we're going to start routing everything and hopefully make it look all nice and clean. But yeah, God, I'm excited. I'm so excited. There's all these stupid little compartments and stuff that I just can't wait to fill with just useless shit. Just like, I want like Pringles in here and then random garbage up here. I don't know, but I can't wait for this thing to be like moving under its own power. I mean, the shifters and everything alone are just like so, like, I don't know. I just love it so much. I love this thing. Probably the coolest thing I own. And I don't think that's sad at all. I think that's just the way that it is. It's just cool. Everything about this thing is cool and interesting. It's got the same dash as a Tri-5 Chevy. That's cool. So if I go to buy an aftermarket one, because that one only kind of works, or I just want it to look cleaner and more visible, maybe get a backlight behind it. That's the same one out of a Tri-5 Chevy, so that's super rad. I think the steering wheel is about to literally snap off. All the 3 forks are like cracked. 3 arms are cracked, so hopefully that doesn't fugunk, you know. And that's a technical term. Fugunk is what you say when you push your steering wheel all the way down to the floor. Alright, now it's time to doll up the fuel system a little bit. I did find the lines for the wipers, actually, which is cool. But you guys gotta hear this. They're a little old. Who'd have thunk? I gotta figure out if there's like they're not connected, which is weird to me. I guess I don't really know how this vacuum system for the wipers works, but you know, we'll be okay. We'll figure it out. We gotta figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Now I'm going to work on routing the soft line from the actual, oh, I hope I have a fitting for that, from the carburetor, put the filter in, run it over across the front of the engine, which kind of makes me nervous, probably down across that firewall, and then bring it up and hopefully don't kink it, smashing it into the actual fuel pump. But we have a new fuel pump on the step van that will actually like create vacuum and want to do stuff and actually pull fuel from the tank, which is super cool. What a rad concept that'll be. We definitely needed a new fuel pump. The setup is pretty gross, you know. It's pretty nasty. Alright. We have fittings that if they don't fit, I'm going to be very, very, very upset. Also, this is probably the coolest knife I've ever owned. It's a Gerber. I think it's probably called the Cleaver 5000. Don't think that's actually accurate, but sure does sound cool. Come on. Okay, after a bunch of running around town, what I thought was aimlessly, trying to find parts, I actually struck gold. Yeah, I struck gold. So, this means that we can get the 85 closer to back together. This was a huge stopper for me. This is so we can install a fuel line underneath in the frame rail before the pump so that we don't trash this pump with crap. So I can actually cut the line decent, and then, you know, later I'm going to flare it and put in an actual hard filter, but for now this will do exactly what I need it to do. I'm just going to cut that up and put in a run-of-the-mill hard filter. That way, you know, if debris or whatever pops up and hits it, it doesn't blow a hole in my whole situation. But the most important part, and if you've been watching my other videos, you know that this has been irking me very bad because of certain things that are going around right now. This truck has been on the back burner. The reason for that is because I broke a rod bolt. And I don't know if you guys have been trying to find 3/8 rod bolts for a big block Chevy, but let me tell you, it's not easy. Unless you're friends with the machinist. So booyah. I did have to pay for these. I'm not that close with the guy, unfortunately. Super cool dude though, and that will get the ball rolling on the GMC, which if I could actually have a truck back together and functional, oh, that'd be mint. But that's not what we're doing in this video. What we're doing in this video is finishing up the fuel line, and then tomorrow I'm going to go pick up the master cylinder and we'll start on the brakes. But for now, I'm going to show you what I'm doing on this fuel system. Okay, so I have two filters in it. I'm a little bit worried because I installed the one downstream of the fuel pump, sorry, upstream of the fuel pump, but it's not a very fine micron, whatever. It's just another off-the-shelf filter, so I don't see it being that resistant. But then the other one, I installed another pump post filter just for the time being, just to essentially catch a lot of the junk that's going to be coming out of the fuel, because there's going to be plenty of it. So kind of sucks, because you're not supposed to have a fuel filter before the pump, because then it's pulling through a filter and it's going to burn the pump out. But I really want to try and catch a lot of this really gross stuff. So I'm running that for now, and we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't want to pull fuel, or it runs out of fuel when you actually give it the beans, then that is kind of, you know, then we'll know that that could be an issue. So, and I don't have Jake here to be like, don't do that. So I did it. Might just be me being a little extra worried, because this engine would probably burn through plenty of gunk. But with a freshly rebuilt Carter, I don't want to risk it. So fuel system is done. Next step is going to be the brakes. So that's going to be an undertaking. In the meantime, I have parts for the big block, so I'm going to start putting the GMC back together while I'm waiting for parts. Okay, so what we were just checking there was how gross the inside of the oil pump that was on the big block already was, because the main bearings were torched with that pump in there. But clean, look clean, we're gonna use it. And also, we have these. We get to work on the big block today. So, we're gonna push the engine out of the way, because yeah. So what that means is that, ooh, okay, oh god. So just a little update on where we're at with this engine. I broke a rod bolt. Ha 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 ha. Stupid me. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. and my body was like, oh yeah, you want to try and assemble an engine this early in the morning because you think that you're just that smart? Joke's on me, I'm not. So that's all right though, because I have what I need to remedy my mistake. That is pretty dirty. I'm going to need to clean all of this before I do this. But yeah, so this is where we're at. All the pistons are in. I snapped connecting rod bolt, so I have those now. I can throw them in, and I can spin the engine and start doing other stuff, you know, that's like actually cool and actually entertaining. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to assemble this thing so I can get my freaking truck together. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys the truck because it's been a minute. Also, ignore the wheels, please. The wheels are so bad. I hate it too, believe me. They're awful. I'm picturing slotted mags, but just give me some ideas if you want.
Here she is in all her glory. I actually think the camper is really cool. Don't worry, that's not mine, neither is that. Mower is though, Husqvarna all the way. Anyways, so it's the 1969 GMC custom camper. I love this thing. It's rad in every single way. And if you look at this, like, it's a cool camper, man. It's got like the vent up top, and like,
It's not a camper, sorry, it's canopy. But it's so cool. I don't know, I dig this thing a lot. And I'd hate to just tear the canopy off and just junk it, because it could be really, really useful. For camping or for whatever. It's cool. It's a cool... See, now I'm trying to convince everybody else, but I don't know. It's got an 8.5 foot bed with oak in the bed. It's got a big block. It's got a turbo 400. The thing's cool. You get it. Anyways, so there's the beast. There's the front end. And yeah, we're gonna start jamming on this engine so we can actually get that thing together and do some truck burnouts, because what more could the people want than truck burnouts? I don't know. Let's just start trucking. Let's not set a goal. Let's just start hammering dulcimer, okay? Like steel drums. How close am I? Am I screaming right into the camera? Yeah, that's really close. Sorry, guys. Cutlass. God, I love the Cutlass. I have so many cool vehicles. Because I talk too much, they don't run. I just spit on the camera. Anyways, okay. I'm not here to be an automotive scientist and put these engines together like a master builder, okay? I'm here to assemble them and get them in my vehicles, okay? Judge me if you want, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what? If it fits, it ships. For a low flat rate, you know what though? They're in. We're gonna torque all these to spec, and we're gonna call it Dunzo. And then we're moving on. But let's torque them first and see if I'm gonna, you know, burn my garage down. That's my shit.
done. I cannot explain to you the sense of relief that has come with this. Oh, those all torque to spec. Now I'm about to double check the torque spec again. Oh, why can't I just trust things? I lied, it's 50 foot-pounds. Done. Done. Okay, next step. Let's check this rotational torque, and it should be anywhere between 35 and 40 foot-pounds. It's supposed to be between like 2 and 5 per piston. 2 and 5 foot-pounds per piston. That is about 25 foot-pounds, so that's actually pretty frickin' sweet. It's actually under, so the maximum, it should be more than 35 to 40 foot-pounds is what I just read. So at 25, dude, I'm chilling. Minding my business. Dope. Okay. Alright guys, so here's the deal. I was digging around trying to find a cam plate, can't find one. I started looking around, I'm like, you know, there are a couple of things that I need before I can fully assemble this engine. There's a couple things. And I'm heading into town early tomorrow to get some other parts that have been delivered. So I'm gonna end up picking that stuff up anyway, so. Just because I want to sit in here for a second while I spit this game at you guys. I know my steering wheel's ribbed for her pleasure. It's kind of awkward, but I'll tell you what, guys. We're gonna stop here. We're gonna stop here for this video because you got to see a little bit of step van goodness. Got the fuel system all set up on that. I have faith in that. Pretty much just got to check it for leaks when we actually get back to that point. Next up is brakes on that, but we got the connecting rods in and torque to spec. We're good there. We're done. That's a huge moment for me. And instead of pushing myself to the point of failure, which is what I usually do, I'm gonna call that good. I haven't put a video out in over a week now, so that's what we're doing. I'm gonna get trucking on that engine tomorrow so I can actually get this beezy, this big old monster back on the road. I don't know, I feel huge in this thing right now. Oh, probably because there's no front end. So it looks a little goofy. Alright guys. Step van stuff. Big block GMC stuff. We're moving along on a lot of projects. We're actually trying to hit a stride here and get some good stuff done. So appreciate you guys for tagging along, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. I hate the steering wheel. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, send it to your friends. The sooner we can get this channel, like, the sooner I can start putting superchargers on stuff that don't deserve it. You know what I mean? I want to blow some engines up. Oh. Boom. God, I love this truck. Yeah.